to say. Okay, let's be honest for a second, people. Our generation is awkward as awkward. Yeah, it's a little odd and a little awkward. Awkward. I invent words sometimes. Okay, seriously though, we spend so much time on the internet and so much time on a phone that it almost feels like we don't even know how to talk to each other in person anymore. And it's creating such an awkward generation, but if there's one thing I noticed, awkward is kind of the new cool. Like, let's be honest, like just on YouTube, Daily Grace is so awkward and she knows it and she embraces it and she runs with it and people love it. Look at Zoe Deschanel, the girl from New Girl. I probably pronounced that wrong. She is so awkward and she embraces it, and I love that shit. It's really cool when you see other people who are popular and who other people think are cool are awkward too. Kind of nice to know that like you're not alone when you're awkward. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how to embrace your awkwardness and how to turn your awkwardness into coolness. Admit to feeling awkward. Let's say you're sitting there with a person and there's nothing to talk about, you don't know what to say. Just hit them with the old school, so, how about them Dodgers? Then the other person's probably gonna chuckle about it, and then you just say, I'm sorry, I'm really awkward. And guess what? The other person's gonna be like, oh my God, don't even worry about it. I'm probably way more awkward than you. No, I'm more awkward than you. No, seriously, I'm way more. No, trust me. Like, guess what just happened? You guys are now having a conversation about how awkward you both are. So now you're both on the same team, and then you guys can start telling each other stories about all your little stupid awkward moments. Yeah, I remember that one time when I fell in front of everybody. Shoot, I fell down the stairs in front of a whole stadium. I fell on stage during a Christmas recital. I went to a talent show and forgot I didn't have pants on. Okay, look. Even if you aren't awkward, you've had awkward moments before. Talk about them. If you admit you're awkward, you can actually make a conversation about that. Explain your joke. Now I know what you're thinking. People always say, if you have to explain your joke, it probably wasn't funny in the first place, right? But you know what? I don't necessarily agree with that. Let's say you show up to a party really late because you didn't want to go because you're not like the coolest person in the world, right? And the girl you like comes up to you and she's like, hey, like, what took you so long? And you're like, oh, you know, nobody likes a guy who comes early. Get it? Because sex. Now, maybe a perverted joke wasn't the best example, but that's just funny. Let's be honest, when you tell a really awkward, corny joke and then you get it? It's funny. Sometimes the explanation is actually the joke. Like, that's what's the funny part. And you guys laugh and you break the ice. Tell a bad joke and explain it and then laugh about it. Like, you know, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Say oops, oh well, and shrug your shoulders a lot. Okay, awkward people have this really bad habit of like tripping over, I don't know, like there's nothing there, you just trip over your shoelaces or like oxygen or something, and you bump into walls, you drop stuff. Instead of like making everyone in the room know that you feel really awkward about it, just, you know, oh well, oops. Like, it gives you this really like carefree vibe. And when you see someone that has a very carefree attitude, it's really attractive and it's cute. So instead of just standing there like blushing and getting scared, just oops, you know, and that's it. You're gonna come off really cute. I promise you, do it. Be vocal about it. Like, here's an example, right? Let's say you have this amazingly funny story. It's the funniest thing that has ever happened in your life and you want to share it with somebody, and you go and you tell them this really funny story and you realize you suck at telling stories, right? So it doesn't come out funny, and the other person just like, oh, yeah. Instead of just like letting that moment go to waste, admit that it wasn't that funny. Ooh, that didn't come out as funny as I expected it to. Now the other person, they don't want to be awkward, right? So now they have to say something. They're probably gonna be like, yeah, it really didn't. Now you're laughing at the story that wasn't funny. So guess what? You still accomplished your goal. You're still there. You're laughing. Awkwardness comes together and succeeds and you're victorious. Now look, I'm no expert on this topic, but I'll be the first to admit, I have a lot of really awkward moments and tendencies. So I try my best to come up with ways to avoid awkwardness. Because a lot of times you can't get rid of it. You just gotta learn how to use it to your advantage. So yeah, like I said, awkward is the new cool, or like I accidentally said, awkward. You know, a little odd, a little awkward. Awkward. If you guys admit that you guys are awkward too, leave me a comment down below with your most awkward moment or your most awkward habit. Don't forget to subscribe, share this on Facebook, Tumblr, everywhere else. It's a natural, y'all. Peace. At this point, it's just a habit.
Yeah, I know.
You don't really care about people's feelings.
And you know what? Sometimes I say just kidding, like, and then like you guys will be like, I know, Josh. We know you're kidding. And I'm like,
hangovers. C, someone's probably gonna take a picture of you passed out in the toilet somewhere. It's gonna get posted on Instagram and Twitter, and there goes your reputation through the door.